Open it up.
Opening it up.
Shout out.
Credits galore. I'm back to the bottle, by the way.
All right. High Noon, if you want to sponsor us, feel free.
Trader Joe, same to you.
Yeah. Polar. You're cheating on Polar again.
I am. I crushed 2 cases of it. And I literally said
Wow.
save one. I said save one for the podcast. And then last night he just started calling my name. And I
Yeah.
had to take it.
You might
I had to
have to
take
you might have to hit something. We'll have to get you in a group or something, but that's all
well,
right. You got to stay
I
hydrated.
I thought I was going to hit the lottery, but that's not what they're here for. Welcome to Cole One's Conversations. I'm Harry Heaps, joined by Brendan Petrilli. If you've been listening to the BSP podcast, you know that this is the first time that Trilly's come out of his hole of hiding, of death and longing and sadness. But we're ready to bring it to him. In our pre-show, he wants to give a Philly update. I try, ladies and gentlemen, to get him to not do it, but he insists on it. So Trilly, take it away.
It's
Take it
not that
away.
I insist. It's just the people they want it. Honestly. Like if you go and you look at my TikTok and my BSP podcast page,
Yeah,
everybody's watching my stuff now. Oh,
they are.
nobody wanted to watch the stuff when I'm high, I'm chipper, I'm excited. Philly's winning everything. We can't be stopped. And then all of a sudden, you lose in Houston. Game 6,
Yep.
2 wins away, almost forced to game 7. You lose in the World Series, and now all those crummy Dallas or whatever, Houston, Texas people come sliding in.
You're putting them all together.
They're all the same to me. Whatever, man. It's a gigantic state. They're all sliding into the
Yeah,
comments. I go from getting, 50 to 150 views an episode to almost 3,000 views on my episode. And it's all just stupid Houston fans. Oh, the Phillies were outmatched, this and that. Go suck a dick. Like
that's
the
right. Tell them
Phillies
how it
went
is.
6 games with the eventual world champions. Hey,
Yes.
congratulations. I didn't say anything about Houston at all. They played well. They played a good game. They were outmatched the Phillies. It is what it is. It sucks that they got so close just to come up that short because it's going to be tough getting back there, obviously. But enough. It is what it is. It sucks. We bounce back.
You
Harry
got
and
there,
I
dude. You got to be proud of that, though. You should have never been there. That's the
hate
truth,
that.
though.
It's the truth, but I hate that because you got there. You were up 2-1 in the series, and then you
But
lost
here,
2 in Philly. You got no hit. Like,
but here's what it comes down to, right? This is what I always say. When Philly, I was at my gym and I was talking to this guy at the gym and we were talking about the World Series. And I said to him, I go, I like Philly. He goes, well, I don't at all. And this is before they made it into the World Series. And I go, dude, in sports, whenever a team catches magic and they're in the playoffs when they never should be, regardless of what the sport is, there's something special going on. And it always ends one of two ways. That magic takes you all the way over the sunset through the rainbow and you get it, or sooner or later, something catches up to you. And what I think just happened, dude, is you got to be proud knowing that your organization right now that people have doubted on, hated on, made fun of, including myself, you guys are in one of the best positions legitimately in baseball than anyone else is right now.
yeah,
People look at the Mets. Look at the team that I thought was going to not only be in the World Series but win it. All this money, all these players, all these names, and they didn't amount to anything. Look at the Yankees. Couldn't again failed their fan base. Couldn't do it. Look at the Padres. Go out, spend so much money, acquire players, big names, can't get there. And Philly overcame all that. And I know that that doesn't make up for not having a chip, but it's got to mean for something.
no, for sure. And the biggest thing is you're right. We are set up pretty well. I mean, look at the rumors coming out already. The hot stove MLB free agency started yesterday, right? And Phillies are the best odds to land Trey Turner. Trey Turner in this lineup would be electric. You need a leadoff hitter. Kyle Schwarber can't be your leadoff hitter next year, hitting 50 bombs. You need to put him in the 3 or 4 hole and get some guys on base for him because hitting 40 solo shots isn't going to do anything for you. So I'm excited. They got some young arms in the minor leagues that are just pretty much ready to come up next year. Maybe you sign a pitcher or two. So we'll see. You sick perverts out there that love listening to when we're down and sad, you got the best of me this time. It is what it is. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens.
But now we got to transition because this is the
Yes.
NFL. This is
Yeah.
the
And
NFL.
now,
We got to
Harry,
kick it
you
off.
had my back there a little bit, right?
Yep.
And I appreciate that. We
But you
we
don't
we
have
love
mine.
to
I
do
know.
that. But honestly, dude, you shouldn't. Because I don't really have your back right now.
Yeah.
Your Ravens, they're hot again. They're getting going. Couple nice wins.
Yeah.
And everybody's hopping on their dick again.
Right.
Everybody's
Right.
saying, even
Yeah.
yourself before this, we got a good shot. The AFC's wide open, which you aren't wrong. But
I know I'm not, bitch.
you got to tell me why. You got to sell me on this team because I
Okay.
still see this team where the defense has failed you multiple times throughout the start of this year on why you came out struggling so much. What have they done? Roquan Smith is going to automatically turn that secondary into an elite secondary? I don't think so.
Right.
Mark Andrews is still banged up. Duvernay still hasn't figured it out. He had another wide receiver go down for the year, I believe, right? I forget his name. Bateman?
Yep. Bateman.
Or, yeah.
You don't know his name.
What?
You don't. Yeah, you know his name. Shut the fuck up.
You got a bunch of guys that are banged up on the
We
offensive
do.
side. I think
We
Lamar is
do.
playing back to that
Oh my
where he can
God.
go and make it happen. But I don't know, man. Kenyon Drake's going to win you a Super Bowl at running back there. Sell me a little bit here.
Okay. Number one, I don't know why. Apple, do not disturb. I get that the laptop is 7 years old, but you got to work at some point. It's dinging all over the place. I mean, come on. All right.
Yeah.
Let's break it down. Because I ride with you. You don't ride. You're not a rider. You are the embodiment of Big Cat. You're no longer a rider. You're no longer a rider. And you're putting me in the Rico conversation, which is even more disrespectful. But I'm not even going to go there. Let's get into it. Let's talk about why we should all be on the Ravens. Let's talk about what's going on in the AFC. And let's talk about why I am making bold predictions like that the AFC is wide open. Because if you don't believe that the AFC is wide open, then I don't know what you're smoking. So let's dive into our games, right? Let's look at the schedule. Let's look at the schedule so far for the Ravens, right? Before we even get to the Saints game, okay? Right now, the Ravens are 6-3. We're going into a bye when our team has tremendously, if you've been following our podcast, we give up leads. Lamar played great in the beginning of the season. He hasn't looked as good at the time. Peterson's on the sideline yelling, I'm getting all this crap out of the way. We can't, Kyle Hamilton fades away. Patrick Queen can't get after anybody. Those are all true. And then yet for the past 3 weeks, Humphrey's actually shown up. The trade with Chicago could not have been any better for us. In the amount of just, we finally have a pass rush. Clark has not really been there, but he showed up this past week. And then through that, dude, we were actually able against a good Saints team to keep a lead and to maintain it and not have that be our worry. And at the end of the day, dude, what it comes down to is the only thing that this Ravens squad is missing. If this defense can perform at the level that it performed against the Saints, the biggest question is, can we continue this on into week 10, 11, 12 through our bye? And Carolina is going to be a great way to see when we go against a bad team at home after a bye. Can we only allow them to score 7 points? Can we only allow them to score 10 points? Can we shut them down? Can we get multiple interceptions? Can we get multiple sacks? Can we make Baker Mayfield feel so uncomfortable where he has less than 3 seconds to throw the ball? Are they forced to just run? Huh?
PJ Walker, come on.
Oh, is Baker not there anymore? I'm not even paying attention
but
to Carolina.
they've been playing PJ though lately.
What do you mean? Is he hurt?
What? No, I think they've just been playing PJ Walker over him. That's just, he played tonight.
So they went from my boy Sammy D to Baker, and now who the hell?
PJ Walker, Temple U alum. Come on, dude.
Did you say peanut butter and jelly?
He was the XFL MVP before they shut down.
I don't care about that. The point being is that the Ravens are on a 3-game winning streak right now after losing the Giants before in that 24-20. I don't want to talk about it. We beat the Browns, an in-division rival. I called it the classic AFC. The Bucks winning 27-22 when we were plus 1.5. And I said, how are they getting points? They go on the road. They beat that ass. And then the next week, they're only minus 1.5. And what did I send out the tweet to you? Minus 1.5 should have been minus $1 million. They beat the Saints. They're tremendous right now, dude. The only thing that we're missing is a true wide receiver threat. And let me explain why. We just beat a team back-to-back on the road, 3-game winning streak without our number 1 receiver in Mark Andrews. Kenyon Drake has stepped up to the plate while allowing both Dobbins and Edwards. Dobbins, who was a leading back in the 2020 season, who most likely is not going to be a Raven after this season if he really doesn't get any more time. And this kid who can play both tight end at times, they put him in tight end packages, wide receiver, is now becoming our leading rusher and is creating pathways for Lamar to pick the times that he wants to run. Lamar now, for the first time, really looks like he understands for when he wants to throw the ball and run this season. He's dominating his pathway. The only thing that's getting past him is, yes, every once in a while, he's throwing the ball over the top. What changes this Ravens outlook? First of all, Deshaun's done. What an idiot move that was to go get him.
I told
Shut
you.
up.
I
Shut
told
up.
you. I just
If
missed
we
out on the
can,
touchdown. I wanted that first touchdown, and then he could pull the hammy.
if we can land OBJ and get a true
That would
wide
be
receiver
big.
threat,
That would be
if we
big.
can get a true wide
That would be
receiver threat,
huge.
I'm talking about a veteran who doesn't have to play 60 minutes. I'm talking about a veteran who plays part of the
That would be big.
first, all of the third, and all of the fourth. And he's there big time for when somebody's double coverage, when we're going against the Chiefs and Owen's getting after Lamar and they double Mark Andrews. And who does he see down the field but the guy who's had injury after injuries, but looking for another major cash-in day and another ring. And we bomb it down the field right now, dude. I'm going to tell you the reason why this AFC is so open right now is because the identity of the Bills, do not get it twisted. The only true offensive player besides Josh Allen, who's an A+ on that team, you tell me if I'm lying, is Stephon Diggs. Besides that, you got a bunch of B and B+ players that look like A- and A's because you have an A++ quarterback.
No, I
If
would
you
agree.
lose him, you lose your identity. All you are is a heavy pass rush team that can get after QBs. That's massive. But you will not have a quarterback that can live up to the talent of Josh Allen and be able to put points up on the board the way that he can. You just don't. You don't have that. And so with that, what comes into play? The next teams up are the Chiefs, Miami, and Baltimore. What's going against Miami is they haven't been there before. This team does not have a legacy of winning. This team does not have a legacy of success.
In the NFL, no. College, Tua won a national championship. Tyreek Hill, he won a Super Bowl.
Okay.
You
Take
got
the
guys.
fucking Alabama kids, put them against Baltimore Ravens, and we'll see what the score is at the end of the game, bitch.
What have the Ravens won, dude?
What have we won? We won the best Super Bowl of all time.
Are these
Super
guys
Bowl
though?
47. What?
Were any of these guys on that team?
No, but you got a championship coach.
All right, that's fine.
You got a championship head coach. You got a championship kicker.
Yeah.
Okay. You got a first round pick snapper out of Iowa.
Wow.
You got a 32 overall pick out of Ole Miss. You got a first round pick out of Oklahoma in Mark Andrews. You got a first round pick out of Alabama in Bateman. You're going crazy. So what I'm going to say is that what the real juggernaut is can we match up for the Wizard right now in Patrick Mahomes? If we can find a way where this defense can get after every single quarterback week after week, the Ravens are in a shot to make a deep playoff run. The question is, can the defense handle it? Because we know our offense can score. Where I'm going to leave this off, because I can tell I'm not convincing you, but where I'm going to leave this off, Trilly, is let me bring you through the rest of the season. We come back.
That's what I was going to hit. Yeah.
We come back with the Panthers. W. We come back at the Jaguars. Massive W. We come back against the Broncos, the game that I will be at December 4th. Massive W. We come back against the Steelers. W, with Jenny Pick throwing everything that he can to Humphrey, everything he can to Clark, everything he can to Peters. There's going to be 7 pick sixes in that game. Hammer the over. How do we have next after that? Put that away. Who do we have after that next? The Browns. Going to be a close game. I see it being a W. W against the Falcons. W against the Steelers. The Bengals is a toss-up, dude. Right now, we have the potential to, in my eyes, only lose one more game this entire season.
I agree with that.
Now, the question is, does that light schedule transfer over to a true playoff run? I don't know. If you know me and you know my takes as you do, you know that I always say that I can't put legitimacy in a team that has a weak schedule. But today I'm talking about my Ravens. And all I could say is weak schedule or not, bitch, we're coming for the Super Bowl. Suck it.
Yeah, I mean, hey man, I yeah, you got me going a little bit. That schedule is really what kind of
Yes.
is making me get closer to the bandwagon a little bit to hop on. And the way Lamar's throwing the ball, honestly, I text you, I'm like, he's got zip to it. Like he's throwing
It's
absolute
crazy.
bullets. He's putting the ball where it needs to be, where he wasn't doing that 2 years ago. So I agree with you. You get OBJ, you get a receiver like that to kind of help out this team with Andrews getting healthy. I like it. The defense is my biggest concern for you, and that's just how it's going to be
Hey,
the
we
rest of
got
the
we got one great game. We're gonna build from here. It
Yeah.
takes 1 week. It takes 1 week in the NFL. I always say
Oh,
anybody can have a good week.
yeah.
Anybody can have a good week to start something.
Playoffs for sure. Contenders, yes.
Yeah.
Top of it, I don't know. But the
I,
biggest thing for me is I agree with you where the AFC is super wide open. And we saw it no other than this past weekend where you were talking Josh Allen and the Bills lose to the New York
yep.
football
Yep.
Jets, Jets. I mean,
It's not betting advice. It's life advice.
the Jets they've circled the wagons, they've kept the receipts, and they're winning football games. They have a top 5 defense in the league right now, where Sauce Gardner is just absolutely locking people up as a rookie cornerback. They're getting after him, and Josh Allen said it the best. She's like, "Yeah, it's hard to win football games when your quarterback sucked, you know." And the Jets defense made him suck. We'll have to see what happens with his
Tremendous.
UCL injury in the elbow. Maybe he'll have to get Tommy John. Maybe not. We'll see. As of right now, we don't know
He might be done
an update as we're
forever.
recording on Thursday night. So we'll have to see that if that happens, he misses a couple games. That opens it up even more for teams like the Jets, the Dolphins, the Ravens to kind of jump back in this. Well, what was your takeaway for the Jets in that game against the Bills, Harry?
My biggest takeaway is that Sauce Gardner is the best corner in the NFL. He's the best corner in the. I don't care what anybody says. You just beat the juggernaut in the NFL. You just beat the juggernaut in the NFL, and your job was to lock down his number one target, and you did it, and you did it effectively. The Jets are making defensive football in an offensive league look cool. Like, think
Yeah,
about that.
yeah.
This is an offensive league now. This is a league that if you tap somebody the wrong way due to I won't do the hands anymore, the Joker's pass. But even more so, you can't touch people. You can't hit people the same way. You were meant to score points. We're meant to have big margins. This season hasn't proven that much, but that's what the overall league's direction is supposed to be, right? And this Jets core is making defense look phenomenal. It's making defense look fun. It's making defense look the way that it was truly for you and I in the early 2000s when we were watching Ray Lewis, when we were watching Ed Reed. I'm not going to give any shine to any Eagles players. I'm going to talk all mine. I'm going to talk about guys like Terrell Suggs, guys like Kruger, guys like Haloti Ngata. We're seeing that in this Jets team, right? And what I think it comes down to is I said it 2 weeks ago when we were together on the pod. Something's going on in New York right now. These two teams I see as legitimate teams. I do. I think that they're on the foreground of starting something legitimate. I really do. I don't know which one has the upper hand, but my biggest takeaway is what this shows is what I said 4 weeks ago. At the end of the day, the best quarterback in the NFL, best quarterback right now is Jalen Hurts in the NFL. In the reality, he's number one. We'll have the new top 5 later. But who am I taking every time over the Bills? I don't care that they just beat him. I still like Patrick Mahomes better, dude. I don't see Patrick Mahomes losing in that game. I don't. I think that the Bills have too much stock in them. I think that everybody was counting out the Jets. They went and had the biggest upset of the week, man. I mean that's the biggest takeaway. Anybody can get upset this year. Anyone.
Yeah.
Rams done. Tampa Bay, maybe they're back. Do we know? No. The back-to-back MVP looks like that he's about to hang it up. Always getting upset. Now by the Lions, right? Ravens, go on. Week 3, against Miami. What happens? Miami comes back, upsets them. Shouldn't have happened. Did happen. I mean,
There's one team
it's
that hasn't been upset. I've been good here, Harry.
you
I
have.
haven't been a homer.
Well, it's
I've been
because
holding my tongue, Harry.
so what? So finish. Give me your biggest take, and then we'll talk some Eagles. What was your take from that game? What
No,
did
no,
you
I
think?
agree. I think their defense, I said it from the beginning here. Their defense made Josh Allen uncomfortable. I mean, he ran the ball all over the field. I took him over 55 rushing yards, the alternate, or 60 rushing
Yeah,
yards, and people are like, "Oh, Jets defense." Yeah, he ran the ball all over, 2 rushing touchdowns. I could have took that too, but he couldn't throw the ball. Their
no,
pass rushers all over him. They were hitting his arm. They were getting to him, making him uncomfortable. Stephon Diggs was locked up. Gabriel
yep.
Davis, like he's supposed to be a guy, but all he's really been able to
Horrible
do is
game.
just big down the field plays.
Yes.
Nothing other than that,
Real quick,
Dawson Knox really hasn't been able to carve anything open.
no,
So, and then after that, it's just a bunch of no-name guys that he's just making it work, which
correct.
to your point earlier. But after that, I mean, I like the Jets. I think they're a good, solid football team. They're playing what we were saying all along earlier. They keep it close with their defense and they make you make mistakes.
Yeah,
And that's what they did. Josh Allen threw 2 picks in the fourth quarter. So I mean, if the MILF Slayer on the other side of the ball for them, if he doesn't turn the football over, their defense is going to give them a shot to win games. And
yes,
that's been the recipe for them. We'll see. They got a big test coming up, I believe, against the Pats again. So where they lost to them 2 weeks ago,
right.
ugly, ugly.
Ugly.
So if they can go and they can bounce back
They
after a
lost for
big
money that
game,
week.
don't have a letdown game, and take care of the Pats, then we're talking. Now we're talking if this offense can get going where Garrett Wilson didn't touch the ball for weeks. He was demanding to get traded. And now all of a sudden he's getting the ball back in his hands again. They got weapons there. It's just whether Zach Wilson can just turn the ball over or not. If he can take care of it, not get bored, like he said, where he was just, they're like, Zach, why don't you throw the ball away? Like, what were with all these picks? You were doing so well. It was just like, honestly, like I was getting bored throwing it away. I just wanted to try to make plays. And that's why he was throwing picks. So, like, he's just got to take his time. He's got
That
to
sounds like
do it.
something that Kenny Pickett would say.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. So,
all
I
right,
mean,
but
I
before,
like it. I like the Jets. I think
yeah,
it's a good win for them. I'm happy for them.
yes,
The Jets
yes,
fans that think that they're all hoopla and everybody hates us, nobody. Yeah, your team has sucked for over 2 decades. All right, get the little
heavily.
wee wees out of your buttholes because you have no reason to be this
No,
butthurt about it at all.
no,
Like,
like
be
shut up.
happy for where you're at.
Yeah,
Honestly, enjoy
shut
it.
up.
Nobody's talking
Yes,
smack on the Jets right now.
no.
Like, good luck. I'm
So
happy for you.
at this podcast, we're known for their due. We're known for calling games as they lie, and we're also known for not fact checking. So we're not going to fact check this. This is all speculation. But Trilly, what do you see the Bills doing with this Josh Allen situation? What is your takeaway? Are they going to drug him up? Are they going to shoot that elbow with a needle every single week? Is he going to keep practicing? Is he going to keep throwing that ball? Is he possibly going to put his career in jeopardy?
No, I mean, you got
Are
a
they going to force him
Lasallian,
to sit?
you got a Lasallian gentleman as the head coach over there, and Sean McDermott, smart guy. All LaSalle guys are real smart. But I think your biggest game looking at it right now is this upcoming one against the Vikings. After that, you have the Jets and the Dolphins later in the season, Bengals. It just depends how
They got a
much.
tough schedule.
Yeah, honestly. So
They do. They have
how much does the number one seed mean to them? How much faith do they have in their backup in Case Keenum, who got the Vikings to an NFC Championship game just to get absolutely demolished by the Philadelphia Eagles in 2017? But I don't know. I think they're going to do what's best for Josh because it's not about just this season, even though they kind of went all in for this year. So
but Josh could ruin. But here's the thing: my question is really, what is Josh thinking? Is Josh so much of a baller that he's like, I don't give a fuck, I'm playing, or does he have the sense to know if I play, I possibly don't in 2 years?
now, whoa, 2 years? Come on, dude.
Dude, if he screws his arm up enough and he gets
Dude,
Tommy
Tommy
John,
John's like 6 months now. Like,
not if he gets it the way that you can, dude. You know this. He throws like a baseball player. He throws like a pitcher.
yeah, and pitchers are back in 6 to 9 months. Nice.
Maybe.
I don't know. I think it's a great question. As of right now, we don't know what they're gonna do. We don't know the severity of the injury. Obviously, they
I
probably
hope it's
already know.
bad. I
What?
want it to be bad.
If I feel like if it was bad, they would have already said it.
No, they don't want
Yeah.
anybody to know. Oh, no way.
You don't think so? All
No,
right,
no,
maybe
no. And I
the
want it to be bad. Josh Allen, I love you. We want to have you on the podcast, but I want it to be bad. I want the Ravens to win. I want you out for the season. I want you to be contemplating what happened that day. How did I lose to the Jets? My and I want you to say it just like that.
Do you think Josh Allen throwing lefty would be a better shot than Case Keenum?
Yeah.
He could do
All
it.
right. Let's
Let's
move on
move.
to the next game. We'll hit like one or two more here, and then we'll break down this coming week. So Trilly, I want to move to next some of the other picks that we took, obviously, with what we did this last week. You going 2-2-1, me going 3-3. And that's what you guys are here for. But we're recapping last week. And dude, let's talk about it, dude. Let's talk about Chi-Town, Chicago, scoring 32 points against Miami. Now, I took an alternate spread. The original line was at -4.5 for Miami. I like them to cover the 6. They didn't cover either. They only covered 3. Chi-Town scores 32 points, dude. What's going on right now in Chicago? And is Miami's defense crumbling this bad? Because this is back-to-back weeks of letting up major points by Miami.
Yeah, that defense it's going to be an issue. I mean, they've been giving up points all year. Where before this season they were kind of known for the defense. You know, Brian Flores. They were
Absolutely.
Xavier Howard. He was most interceptions. They're getting gashed by the run. Honestly,
Yes.
like that defense, those candy ass uniforms comes down to these November, December months running the football, and they're just getting gashed, bro. Like those teals are not getting the job done.
I love them.
Do you think you can stop the run wearing that teal and white? I don't think so. Now, their offense, they're flying all over the place. They're looking fast with Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is on pace to beat Megatron, his record for most receiving yards in a season, which is insane.
Dude, he's so crazy good.
Tua's playing absolutely nuts.
Out of his mind. He wants
when
the contract,
he's on the
baby.
field healthy for a full game. He's undefeated when he's healthy and completes a full game.
Yep.
So, on the flip side of it, the Chicago Bears have figured something out a little bit. It's still to be determined whether Justin Fields is still the guy there. I think he is. He's gained a lot of confidence over the past couple of weeks, but that's because they're using his legs more, where they were afraid to kind of do that. They didn't want him to get hurt. They wanted him to be a pocket passer. They wanted him to evolve.
With no receivers.
What?
They wanted him to be a pocket passer with no one to throw it to.
Yes, exactly.
So let's make that clear for the kid, who I love. They've like, until now, they've been fucking him. And they're finally like, okay, we're going to go get you guys to throw to.
Yeah, now you got, I mean, Mooney's okay. I don't know about that, but when he's your number one guy, come on. And then you get Claypool. He was a little bit, first week, not still figuring stuff out.
Right.
But to have those two running backs in Herbert and Montgomery, and then the way that Fields, I mean, his legs are just electric. He is fast. Crazy. He's quick. He's finally he hit strong, and he's a bigger guy.
Yeah.
And the way he's able to turn it on like that, where before he was so hesitant, he's looking to throw. Now he's like, all right, one read, not there, gone. And he's fast enough to zigzag his way, go around the corner, and just let it rip. And he's big enough to be able to take those hits now.
He's the middle version of Lamar and Cam. When you look at their body types.
Yeah.
Middle of the road where Cam was full on Optimus Prime, could take anything, and Lamar is just a jet. And then Fields is like right in that middle spot.
Yeah. No, I mean, I like that a lot. I think that for him to get better moving forward is he needs to get back to wanting to be that pocket passer.
Yeah.
That Lamar Jackson has evolved into a little bit now. He's going 1, 2, 3, and then going instead of what Fields was trying to do with no weapons. Now he's finally got a couple guys, but now he's just one read, go. So you got to find that happy medium. I think this year for the Bears is obviously a rebuilding year. They might be feisty moving forward. And I think this is a good opportunity now where they know what they got in this guy. Let's kind of implement some stuff that we want to see him progress and do throughout the next couple years. So we're set up now as we move forward. You've gotten some draft picks back. You've gone and got a receiver. We'll see what happens in the offseason, but the rest of the season is just figuring out who's your number one back moving forward. And can Justin Fields keep up this production with still developing as a pocket passer? So, I mean, I like the Bears a lot moving forward now. They're going to be a feisty team for anybody moving forward instead of just a team that's dead and going to
Yeah.
roll over like they were the first couple games of the
I
season.
still own you.
It was ugly. That offense was ugly.
Yes.
Now they're exciting.
Horrible.
And it's crazy how they flipped the switch where they're trusting their guy and letting his instincts take over for that team. Now, bringing it back on the Miami side here, Harry, can they stop a Chiefs? Can they stop a Ravens? Because you saw the Ravens put up points. Is it just going to be straight out shootouts for this team moving forward for Miami?
If they can't well, first of all, they got major injuries in the deep secondary on people that they're trying to exchange in and out during plays on the defensive side of the ball. And especially in their secondary, they got a lot of guys down. They got a ton of guys on IR. We were talking to a mutual friend of ours, Jack. I was talking to him. We talk almost, all the time about Miami because he's a diehard Miami fan. Miami is in this position where I think that they're a team that's a lot like the Ravens right now. If you see it, there's actually a lot of comparisons in them, right? A mobile quarterback who's got a strong arm with great offensive talent. I would argue, obviously, that they have better offensive talent than we do, in all honesty.
Yeah, way better.
Well,
those
maybe
two
not
wide
way
receivers
better.
are nuts.
Yeah, but they don't have a Mark Andrews, and they don't have a back like Drake.
I mean, Jeff Wilson, they just brought in. He knows McDaniel's offense. Mozart, good.
He's washed. We won't fight on the point. You're
saying Kenyon Drake is a better back who's been on 5 different teams in 2 years.
Right now he is.
Oh
in
my
Baltimore.
God, no.
Right now in Baltimore, yes, he is. What do you mean, dude? He is this guy who, in all honesty, shouldn't really be playing running back. He should be more of a receiver type player. Has developed into a guy who's creating looks through every defense, through injuries on our team, where he is separating and then creating better looks for Lamar. And there is no way that anybody on Miami is doing that.
At the running back position?
Yes. If you got a Kareem Hunt in there, sure. Or a Nick Chubb in there, sure. But they don't have that.
I think you're undervaluing Jeff Wilson, who's a good running back for the 49ers for the past couple of years. And he's going back to his offensive coordinator now. He knows the system. They're looking to get him the ball. What?
Time will tell.
Yeah,
but let me finish what I was saying here. Let me make this quick.
I like it. I like fighting with you a little bit. We've been too nice to each other.
We have it. We got to get into it a little bit. But that's what you need. You need hey, we're midpoint in the season now. The niceties are over. You're subscribed here to see something new. By the way, subscribe anywhere you go. The point being, yeah, finger movement all the way around. That sounded kind of weird. The point being, Miami and Baltimore are in a lot of the same position, right? Miami started out better on defense. Now we're catching on what they were on earlier in the season. They're letting up a ton of points right now, almost giving up that first lead half. But they got a quarterback who's proven that he wants a contract. They've got great offensive talent. What I do think is that they have, no matter what it comes down to, whether they give up the lead or not, right now, Miami can keep up with anybody scoring-wise. There's just no question about it. Tua can score against anybody, whether it's Josh Allen at full strength, whether it's Patrick Mahomes at full strength, whether it's the Eagles at full strength. He's going to be able to pick up with anybody. The question is, it's going to come down to time of possession. Who's getting that ball last in the AFC? Whose clock management is better? That's what I think could really screw them over.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So,
before we hit a quick break here, let's get in one last game.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about the Birds. Birds took care of business again. 8-0.
Simple.
Dominating.
Simple.
Like, that's...
Oh, do not give me dominating.
Yeah,
that it was 14-14.
Dude.
That was stupid.
It's... What was the final score? They won by 13, dude. Like, they didn't cover. It was 13.5. They just barely missed the cover, but there was no way in any circumstance that I was nervous at that watching that football game.
I know a
Uh,
lot of Philly people that were. People
they're
were
stupid
calling
if they
me.
were. It's stupid if you weren't.
I just made that up. I just
Yeah,
made that up.
like this defense is ferocious. The rush defense is a little concerning, but you're missing your guy in Jordan Davis in the middle that you took at 11 overall. The guy's a stud, and he's out for the next couple weeks with an ankle sprain. He's been a big difference for that rush defense. But you got C.J. Gardner-Johnson leads the league with 5 interceptions. Darius Slay, the best cornerback in the league. Fuck you, whatever sauce, whatever his face is. Darius Slay, big play Slay, and James
Shut up.
Bradbury are yes. Look at the numbers; they're right behind him, but that's a whatever.
It goes Sauce, Darius, Peters. Go.
All right, Birds, whatever. Moving on. Let's finish up here. Are the Vikings for real? 7-1. They take care of business. I thought Washington was going to win this game outright. Honestly,
I know
they
you
held
did.
in there. They covered the 3. Well, you pushed the 3.
Yep.
But when it comes down to it, Kirk Cousins brings out the chains, flashes the guns. What do you
Straight
think,
up.
Harry, about Kurt and that team? Are they legit? They go get Hawkins socks from Detroit. You got Jay Jetta. I mean, they're moving. The defense is kind of figuring it out there. Can Kirk
Listen.
Cousins lead them to a long playoff run in the NFC? You got a couple minutes.
If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen this year. There's no other time when the division has ever been so weak for the Vikings to take care of business. Aaron Rodgers got nothing left in the tank. It looks like Chicago. Until last week, Detroit was a complete dumpster fire. Same thing for Chicago before last week. I don't know where you're looking, but that's okay. Probably hanging out with the cat. Yeah, I called it. I knew it. But I mean, dude, they're in a position right now, right, where they are able to kind of sweep their division and take care of business. And then beyond that, you've got this reignited Kirk Cousins that you and I talked all summer long and in the first 3 episodes of the pod about how could you give this guy a new contract? I couldn't stand it. Dude, by the way, Kirk Cousins is way more fit than I thought he was.
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Like straight up. Like most quarterbacks don't have that body. Like
he was defined.
He was kind of like jacked.
Yeah.
But
it's all the praying, it keeps the pecs nice and tight.
Yeah, and then he was ready to have that ice.
Yeah.
But the point being, like straight up, dude, is I think that they can be a real deal second seed. Yes, I do. I mean, let's go to their schedule real quick so we make sure that we're not screwing around here and we're actually saying something that's legitimate. Let's look at who they've beaten real quick, right? They beat the Packers week 1, lose to the Eagles 24-7, get
not
smashed.
Just lose, get smashed. Prime time too. That's the biggest thing for Kirk.
Beat the Lions 28-24, beat the Saints, beat Chicago, beat a real team, the Dolphins, beat the OK Cardinals, beat the Commanders. You got some real games coming up here though. Like right now, this is where they prove it. This coming week, Bills. Next week, Cowboys. Next week, Patriots. Next week, Jets. Yeah. Those are 4 very legitimate games.
Yeah.
If they go 3-1, they will win every single game after that. They will beat the Lions. They will beat the Colts. They will beat the Giants. They will beat the Packers. They will beat the Bears. So yes, dude, this is another team that's in a very big position right now to maybe only lose 2 to 3 games this season. If that. I mean, in all honesty, because Kirk looks legitimate. I can't even say it. The way he distributes the ball outside of Jefferson, he makes Jefferson look like what he should be, the icing on the cake. He isn't the cake. He hasn't made Jefferson be the only part of this offense. And that's why I think that they can do this, dude. I don't know what's going on with them. I'm really surprised about it. The biggest thing is just going to be, right. All right. First time it happened to me. Open it back up. Got to take a swig out of respect. Whoa, what is going on with you, dude?
I went to the Woodford.
The point being is, first time ever I get cut off by the Zoom. By the way, we were about to not be low rent. Zoom just went on sale. We're taking advantage, baby. We don't care. We're bringing real money, brown bag cash. You know the deal. That's what we do with our bets. We're not
DM
charging
us for
for that.
sponsorships. We're getting the views.
Either way, I think yes, Trilly, the Vikings could be a legitimate second seed in the NFC.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is we're going to see these next 4 weeks. Honestly, if
Yes,
Kirk Cousins is down to play,
Yep.
I listened to the McAfee show every once in a while, and the biggest thing he was saying is Dalvin Cook can go off for a game,
Yep.
Justin Jefferson can go off for a game, Jalen Reagor. No, just kidding. You got T.J. Hawkinson now there that adds another weapon. So you got options all over that team.
Yeah.
That can have their moment, and it doesn't have to be all on Kirk Cousins. I think that is their biggest thing. Their defense is legit. Top 10. It's not elite, but it's good enough that keeps you in football games. So these next 4 weeks are going to be telling for them, obviously. So we'll see moving forward. Now let's get into what everybody's here for, how we're making you money. I'm hitting at 53%. We're above the Mendoza line. Harry's hitting at 63%. He's dipped a little bit, not as hot, but we're still up there. This is as good as you're going to get here, people.
It doesn't matter.
We're rocking and rolling. We're giving you the content. We're giving you winners, most importantly. But we're having fun. We hope you're having fun while we're doing it.
And we were one leg away from the parlay hitting.
Yep. We're right there.
We're
hit it
right
once,
there. 3 points away. 3 points away. 3 points.
Yep,
what I should have done is I should have just gone the opposite way and just said them like -1.5 when I knew they cover that.
Yeah.
Would have been less money though. But either way, all right. Trilly, what do we want to start with? Our unders and our underdogs? That's what I'm thinking. Okay.
Yeah, go for it. You started.
All right. So, we got some huge games coming up. And I love this because this is a game where you know what? I'm going to save them as my lock. I can't believe I'm going to say it, but I'm going to save them as my lock because that is so stupid that they're in the plus. So we're not even going to go there yet. But as my first underdog, we were just talking about him. I love it. I think it's an incredibly stupid line. You've got to take the Vikings coming off a win +3.5 on the road to Minnesota. I don't care what you say. This team, both cold weather teams, it's not going to affect them if it's cold up in Buffalo. Buffalo's got a lot of noise around them right now, and they're also coming off a major loss. Am I saying that the Vikings win? No, I'm not. But I'm saying they damn well sure. Huh? Yeah, we're talking about a field goal here. Yeah. And we're also talking about two teams that are going to heavily rely on their defense. I don't see this being a high-scoring game. We look at the total, right? Our total right now is over 43.5. Personally, I think that that's crazy that it's that low. I think that that's definitely a hammer the over if you want to go both ways. But I'm sticking with the Vikings points here. I like Kirk Cousins. I like the way that they won that game, whether it was against Washington or not. They came out with a dub. The Bills didn't. Vikings +3.5.
No, I mean, I like the pick. I agree with you. Josh Allen aside, I think that the Vikings can hold their own and lose by a field goal. Keep it close. I don't see this being a blowout in any stretch of the fashion. So, and we'll see. I like the pick. My underdog, you might not like it, but I just think that this other team, you just beat them down. They don't know who their quarterback is. And the other team is #they're due. You got the Pittsburgh Steelers +1.5 against the New Orleans Saints. I think the Steelers, Mike Tomlin, he's a winner for a reason. The guy hasn't been below 500 for a reason. I think this Saints team, my pick is more on the Saints are that bad rather than that the Steelers are that good. All it is a point, 1.5. I can see them outright winning this game at home in Pittsburgh. The Saints have no idea what they're doing on offense. Their defense, TJ Watt's coming back, finally. That's a huge difference for that Steelers defense. Minka Fitzpatrick finally gets a guy that can go and get those tip balls for him to snag again. Those pressure throws from whoever's throwing it. Andy Dalton, nice guy, or a famous Jameis Winston, who still got LASIK, but still can't find his receivers. Who do they got the ball to throw down there? I mean, everybody's out now. Michael Thomas is done. Jarvis Landry's done for the year. Taysom Hill, I don't know. So I like the Steelers there at home. TJ Watt's back.
Okay.
The Saints aren't that good.
The
Eagles got their first round pick too. So I want them to keep losing.
before you lock it in, I just want to throw out two
It's locked.
things.
It's locked.
Okay, it's locked. So I'm just going to tell you why I would not touch that game.
Why?
You are saying that means that the only offense that the Steelers are going to produce is all Najee Harris, and you also believe that everyone on the Saints defense is like a toddler and can't catch a ball that's going to be directly thrown to them.
Yes. I
That's what
don't
you're
think their
saying.
defense is that good.
If they had blindfolds on, they could catch what he's going to throw. But
see, I'm a Kenny guy. You're not a Kenny guy.
no, and I've been right about him all season long,
yeah,
bitch.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. The people better like us fighting. Okay, let's go. I'm going to my next under.
Steelers +1.5. Take it.
All right, Steelers +1.5. Whatever. Shut your mouth. We're going to the next one, and that, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, here. I like this one. Here, I'll give you this. You'll like this one.
Okay.
Under 43. Green Bay Packers, Dallas Cowboys.
Good pick.
Dallas's defense
good
is
pick.
legit. I'll give them that.
Good pick.
Packers
Dak doesn't know what he's doing out there, neither does Aaron. Yeah.
Yeah, Packers have absolutely been brutal. We
got nothing.
Stayed off from talking about them because we've talked about them enough, and I knew I was going to bring them up for my pick here.
Yep.
First 5-game losing streak of Aaron Rodgers' career. Everybody's pissed off at Aaron at this point, what it seems like. Everybody's tired of,
as they should,
as him going or people going for Aaron. Oh, he doesn't have any weapons. He doesn't have this. He doesn't have that.
Yep.
And the team is tired of it. What we've been saying, they haven't done. They haven't run the football. That's the only thing that's going to be able to get them moving again, and they just have not done it. Don't know why. And Aaron last week was atrocious. 3 picks, 2 within the 5-yard line 100%. In the end zone. You can't do that, brother. I mean, you're the 2-time MVP back-to-back the last 2 years. You know better. He's forcing things. He's trying to make things happen. It's just not happening. Dallas has a legit defense. Micah Parsons going to be all over him all day. I like the under. I don't, even if they score 10 points, I don't see Dallas really scoring that much either, because the Packers defense is okay. They're not what we thought they were going to be, but they don't know what they're doing on offense either. CeeDee Lamb, they need another guy opposite of him. Dalton Schultz has been banged up. Zeke's been banged up. Pollard's been kind of electric, but they don't use them. So they don't know what either team is doing down there. And I like the under 43.
Okay. Listen, I got nothing. I got nothing for you that's in disagreement. I think that every point that you made, I agree with. And I think that at the end of the day, the way to sum it up is neither one of these teams knows how to score. That's just my takeaway. They truly don't. They don't know how to score. They get talked about way too much. They got fan bases that won't face reality. They got quarterbacks that are off into the wind. They got an owner that's a group, and then an owner that basically is a group because he's such an idiot because he doesn't want to hear anybody that disagrees with him. So yeah, dude, I think that it's a great pick. I do. I would definitely book that. That could even be a lock, but you know, I like, hey, I know that you got something better up your sleeve. All right. Here's the thing that I'm debating, man. I want to touch this under right now in this Miami-Cleveland game because I think that Cleveland's defense is good. I think that Miami's been scoring a ton. I think it's got to pull back a little bit, and I don't think that Cleveland knows how to score. So I just don't see a lot of points being scored here.
49.
It's a lot of points.
Yeah,
that's a lot of points
for the Browns.
Yes. But that's a game where I wonder, am I getting fooled? You know, some way, somehow.
We were talking bad on that Dolphins defense too.
Yes. And somehow, some way, they'll show up. So I'm going to go another side of the ball. I'm going the under in. Do I want that game? Yeah, I do. I do want that game. 100% I want it. Yes. I'm taking the under in the Chicago and Lions game, 48.5.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I was going to take the over.
Yeah, I'm taking the under. Chicago can't keep scoring the way that they're scoring. I don't care what people say. And I don't think no. Yes,
see,
they can.
I disagree.
Yes, they can.
And their defense is atrocious.
I'm convincing myself.
And so is Detroit.
Okay,
Detroit's
scratch
defense
that.
is atrocious.
It's gone. It's done from the record. The official under pick. I'm all over the place. The official under pick, 45.5. Chargers at 49ers. That's my
I like
official
that.
pick, the
I
under.
like that. I
That's what I
like that.
wanted to go with. Then I thought that I was cheating myself. You helped me out of the hole. I'm not fading myself. Let me tell you why. Number one, I think it's without a doubt. I'm still hot on the 49ers. I need them to pick it up. But right now, they're in a little bit of a stretch where they can't figure out their scoring right now. When they should be able to. It's ridiculous that they're not with the talent that they have. Let's be very clear there.
Very. A
Number
lot of talent.
two, number two, the Chargers or the San Francisco's defense is legit. They're going to get after Herbert, and I've been saying this for the past 5 weeks. When Herbert gets hit, he's dysfunctional. I don't know that he's a leader right now. I don't know it. I think it's going to really affect them. I think that line is kind of crazy of a touchdown. It's a little too big for these teams, given how high the quarterback quality is. But still, I like that. I like that pick. It's at the 49ers home. I think that they're going to keep a lot of points off the board. I think that Christian McCaffrey is going to be dominating a lot of this offense. I think that Jimmy G is going to stick to a lot of the run, work through the tight end game. He's not going to look for big bombs. And yeah, take the under 45.5.
No, I like that a lot. My biggest thing is the 49ers, their defense is banged up. They just lost Justin Verrett for the year.
Right?
They lost another corner, but I think Bosa's finally coming back, I believe, and another D tackle that they had, Armstead. So
Already back.
what? He is?
Yeah, he should
Oh,
be.
okay, cool. All right. I couldn't remember. I didn't watch a lot of football last week, if I'm being honest with you. My bet still did well, but I didn't watch a lot of football last week.
Lying? You're lying to us, is what you're saying.
Well, I was baseballed up, all right? I was Phillies up last week.
Phillies
You
up.
understand.
Phillies up.
So, no, I like the pick. For me, looking at it, let's move our way into our favorites, right? Our
Okay.
overs and our favorites. I want to start it off here with a team. Primetime Sunday, what was it? Monday Night Football last week, Kansas City. 9.5 over Jacksonville. They played a tough, hard-fought game against the Tennessee Titans, who brought it to them at Arrowhead in primetime. Now, 1:00 game at Arrowhead. Jacksonville is a team that is kind of meh. If you punch them, you punch Trevor Lawrence, they probably aren't getting back up again. And they've just kind of showed that all year. I think this Chiefs offense is looking to explode again. They got kind of held together. This Jacksonville defense is nowhere close to what the Tennessee Titans have. They're nowhere as physical. Their offense is okay, but other than ETN, what do you got? Christian Kirk. So I think this is a blowout in Kansas City at 1:00. 10, taken by 10. I mean, 9.5 is the pick of the Chiefs there.
I like it. I got nothing to add. But I am gonna, well, that's not true because my first over, I'm not giving a fave yet. I'm giving my first over. My first over is over 50.5 on that game.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I think that the Chiefs are going to score at least 30, in my opinion, and I think that Jacksonville's going to get a few tugs.
Yeah,
dude. There's
they have
something
some.
good going on. I like Jacksonville's losses and I like their wins, dude. I like their losses and I like their wins. I mean, and your old coach is there. Your Super Bowl winning coach is
Yeah,
there.
I love Dougie P. Yeah.
And I think he's got a real thing going. You got a real talent in Justin, and I think they're going to score here. The thing about the Chiefs defense is they're either completely on or they're allowing points. There's no middle ground with them. They either allow for points to be scored or they're all over you. And I think that this could be a time for Jacksonville to shine. Everybody's going to have them counted out. It's minus 9.5. People are going to hammer the line. Take the over 50.5.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go to my first fave. So my first fave here, I'm taking, you know what? I take them too much. I got to go back. I feel like that this line, Trilly, on this New York Giants game is lying to me at minus 5.5.
I know. Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's too big. I
It is
feel
too
like,
big.
yeah, I feel like it's too big. I feel like some way, somehow,
I think it's not big enough, honestly.
Okay, so we just can't get out of each other's way today. Like, I'm the
Well-
car and you're the traffic jam.
Well, let me finish that real quick.
All right, yeah,
why
tell
I
me.
think so.
Yeah.
Because this Giants team is good.
It is.
Their defense is somewhat legit. This Houston team is other than Damian Pierce, what do they really got? Brandon Cooks doesn't want to play for them anymore. Like I feel like they should be favored. They should be favored by a touchdown. This being at 5.5 kind of leads me to saying that they want you to take the Giants because
And
it's
then the
lower
Texans open you up.
and the Texans open you up. Exactly. That's kind of where my head's at there.
I get that. I think that this to me smells of a 16-19 game.
I agree.
That's what
That's
I
why I don't
see.
think the Giants can score points enough to
Yes.
cover that 5.5 to
That's
like
what
7. Like,
right.
I feel like it should be because they're a good football team,
But
but
then
they
there's
can't
something there.
score. Yeah, yeah.
Right. So I'm going to agree with
So we're
that.
not far apart.
Exactly. So we're actually look at that. The police came, they got it all figured out. Nobody was hurt in the accident. Traffic's moving smoothly. So the next favorite then that I'm going to take, and by the way, the worst line, the worst game that you could touch, the game that neither one of us, I hope, is touching, is Indianapolis and Raiders. But that's for a different conversation. God, is that an awful game? But dude, I'm taking the Rams at -1.5. I think that they got a rebound here, man. I think that they're a better team than Arizona. I like it. It's not that much for them to have to win by. And I think that at the end of the day, there's no question that Matt Stafford is the more dedicated quarterback than Kyler Murray is right now. The coaching staff is better, defense is better, the minimal offensive talent is better.
Yeah.
Rams -1.5.
Yeah. I mean, Stafford, I think, is out of concussion protocol now. Cooper Kupp, he's been kind of not contained, but not putting the astronomical numbers up. I don't see the Cardinals defense being able to contain him when it comes down to it in this game. Even Higbee might even get open a little bit and run loose because you saw what I watched what the Eagles did and a couple other teams. This Cardinals defense is susceptible to the tight ends over the middle. And
Correct.
Sean McVay knows how to exploit it. Their defense is crazy, even though that they been losing these games. Past couple, their defense, you still got Aaron Donald that is going to be all over Kyler Murray. So I like that. I like it. I mean, I wouldn't touch it because I don't really like either team right now, but
I don't either. But that's actually why I do like it, because I haven't touched the Rams since week 3. And I think that nobody is looking at that game because they're so inconsistent and the Rams have screwed up so much. And this is one where I see them pulling it out in a game that everybody should be watching the past Super Bowl champion. And I bet you nobody's watching that game except Rams and Arizona fans.
Yeah.
Nobody's like, hey, let me turn that game on.
Yeah.
So that's a game where it comes up for you.
Yeah. Okay. No, I agree. Yeah, because you look at the other games in the 4:00 window here, it's wow. Ooh, there's only 3 games. It's Colts, Raiders, that game, Cardinals, Rams, and then Dallas, Green Bay.
And everybody's watching Dallas and Green Bay. Everybody,
even that's ugly though, still too.
It's ugly, but it's powerhouse franchises.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And on top of that, everybody's also watching the Raiders game. You know why? Because they want to see, is Derek Carr going to be a Raider by the end of the season?
That, and you got Jeff Saturday is the new head coach.
Indianapolis
Colts.
What do you think about that, dude? We didn't even talk about that.
No,
that is crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
no coaching experience, automatic interim head coach.
High school, dude. Come on. Yeah, that my biggest thing is Jim Irsay is something else, man. Like, that guy is
He's stupid.
The definition of sex, drugs, and rock and roll his whole life. He's just been a billionaire. He's owned this team. He does what he wants.
Yeah.
Everything's out there too. That's why he can get away with saying I want Schneider out. Because what dirt does anybody have that on Irsay that we don't know about?
That we don't know about, right?
So this guy can kind of do what he wants. He's got FU money. He's won. What he says, we were in the upper 4th quartile of winning since the 2000s or whatever. They have won a lot of football games since the 2000s, but they haven't won the big games. They've won one with Peyton Manning, and that was over a decade ago. So I think he's kind of reaching for those glory days type of thing. I think they're setting up to bring back Peyton, honestly. But I don't think Peyton should do it, but you never know.
Are you being serious or are you making a joke?
I'm being serious.
Shut up. Shut, because you were putting on a confident face there. I was like, dude, shut up. That would be crazy, dude, if they both came out of retirement. Like, by the way, they have
Eli's the
such a good
OC,
show.
Peyton's the head.
That would be phenomenal. Eli's the quarterback coach. Peyton's the head coach. And
Eli's the
Eli,
OC.
yeah, straight up. Go Eagles. All right. I'm going to hit it with, I know that you like to do 5. You know, I always like to do 6. I'm doing one more, and I usually go the other way here, but I'm doing one more favorite. I'm probably actually going with one more over. And I got to look at it here. But I like this line, Trilly. Now, listen, they've been scoring low scores, 21, 41, 24, 24, 21, 19, 17, lose 17. They're playing Denver this week. It's Titans, Denver, dude. That line is low, bro.
30.
And I think a lot of people are going to hammer this under, man. The under is at 38.5. Like, that's what I think the line should be for the New York Texans game, not 41.5.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think that line should be. Dude, I have a feeling about this over, man. I see Derrick Henry scoring at least 2 touchdowns, Tannehill throwing at least 1, possibly. Well, maybe not with Denver's lockdown. Denver's got good defense, but they're not going to be able to stop Henry. And at some form or another, dude, sooner or later, dude, Denver has got to pick it. Like Russell has got to get some fire under him, dude. And that game is just it's such a low line that even if he just does a little bit of magic, dude, I know he's been scoring 9, 16, 9, but I mean, come on, man. If you score 17, you can have something going on.
Yeah. No, for
What do you
sure.
think?
What?
What do you think? Am I shooting myself in the foot? Is this not a good game? I have a feeling about it, man. I like the over.
The talent is there for the Broncos side of it. I just don't see where the Titans can score other than running the football.
Well, and I'm saying that, but I think that Henry has 2 touchdowns on the day.
Yeah.
I don't think that they can clog up the lane. They definitely can clog it up from the air, but not the lane.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't touch it. I don't hate it. You know me, I like betting the over.
I know you do.
But
I usually don't. That's
exactly. So, but saying that, I'm going to take Detroit Bears over. We kind of touched on that earlier.
Okay.
I'll take that. And then another one, a game that we didn't talk about, that it might be your lock, I think, but I'm going to take the over 44.5 Seattle Bucks.
That's not my lock, but it is going to be the same game.
Yes, I know. You're probably going to take the spread is what I'm thinking.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
That is the stupidest spread of all time.
Yeah. All right. So I'll take that 44.5 for another one to get us up to 6 here. Now let's get to the locks and then we'll put together the parlay. This is where we're making money. We're hitting on the locks. I think I've only missed 2 locks and you've only missed 1.
Yep.
So, I mean, our locks have been hitting. What are we calling it? The HTL?
The HTL, dude, you only missed 1 week. I mean, come on. The HTL. The Harry
Woodford's kind of kicking in.
The Harry
My cheeks are getting rosy.
I know. It's bad, dude. No, I mean, listen, I might be fading myself, but this is the only time that I will say I know that everybody's taking Seattle plus 2.5. I know everyone is, and this is the one time it's going to pay off. That everybody bets something and everybody's going to win. And let me explain why. Because everyone thinks that Tommy is back after 1 win. Everyone thinks he's back. Hammer the minus 2.5. 100%. It's in Tampa. It's going to happen. They're going to win. Sure, maybe they will win. But all I've seen this year is that my prediction that they were going to walk into a Super Bowl has been completely wrong. And he won with 48 seconds left. I get that he can grind it out, but dude, this Seattle team can hold their own with pretty much anybody in this league. My lock is Seattle plus 2.5.
Yeah, no, I knew you were gonna go that way. That's why I like the over. I think Seattle can score points. Their defense gives up a lot of points. I think Tom. Yes. I agree that everybody's saying that. I'm kind of saying that, and I think they're gonna finally get together here with Godwin, Evans healthy, Fournette.
I want them to.
They're going to score points. I just think it's not going to be enough. Where this Seattle team with Geno Smith, man, they're running the football hard. They got explosive plays all over the place with DK and Tyler Lockett. I just don't see them being able to possess enough at the end of the day where Seattle at least covers the 2.5, if not straight up wins the football game. So
Yeah.
I knew you were going there. For my
How'd
lock,
you know? How did you know?
what?
I love betting Seattle. I do.
Yeah, because I saw you staying away from the game, and I was just like, you kind of said something earlier. I couldn't believe that this team is
Yeah,
plus, and I
I couldn't
saw it.
believe the line. Yeah, I couldn't
Yeah,
because
so
I can't.
I kind of had a feeling you were going that way because I liked it too. That's why I kind of, yeah. But all right, let's move on to my lock. It's a team we haven't talked about. Prime time,
Now
Monday night
I know
football.
what this
The
is.
8-0 Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. The Fighting Jalen Hurts. Nick Sirianni's breaking it out. Coach of the year.
Love it.
Coach of the year. You heard me. Nick Sirianni, not these New York Giant and Jet coaches. The team that's undefeated, that has a big fat goose egg next to their record. Not these
Suck
little,
it.
oh my God, where you shouldn't even be here. Like, you guys had all these expectations. We didn't. They deserve it. Get out of here. That's loser talking. You know who's not losing? The Philadelphia Eagles. I'm
Fuck
not taking
yeah.
the spread,
Oh God.
but I'm taking the over 43.5. The Eagles are putting up at least 30. I think
Okay.
Heineke can get you a touchdown or
I
two.
like that.
Monday Night Football, 43.5 points. I like it. It's a lock. Go Birds.
That is a lock. Over 43. That is a lock. 100%. Totally agree. That might be your best. If that hits, that so far is going to be your best lock of the season. I love that. 100%. And I wouldn't. Now, let me ask you a question. If Wentz was the quarterback, where would you be going on this game?
I
Would you
mean,
be
they
going with
took
the
care of
spread?
business. They got 9 sacks on them earlier in the year,
So you'd be going with the spread.
Probably.
Yeah.
They haven't covered the last couple with these big spreads. And you want to know why the Eagles are legit? And everybody talks about these like, oh, their schedule's weak. Who have they played? They beat down on the Vikings. They beat them down, and they're
Yep.
beating down all these other teams. And Vegas has shown the respect to the Eagles. They are favored by 10 plus points all these weeks. Have they not, Harry? By 13, 14 points. Who else gets that love? The Buffalo Bills. You know,
That you,
the best team in the league, and the
that you,
Philadelphia Eagles. Who else gets favorited by these amount of points? Except
that,
for good football teams, Harry.
that you said Vegas has shown them respect.
They have.
Dude, we gotta clip that. We gotta clip that, dude. And Vegas has shown them respect with these spreads. All right. We
Am I
gotta do
wrong?
no, you're not. We gotta do the HD LP, whatever the fuck it's called. We gotta do the parlay, and then we gotta get these people out of here. We got 10 minutes left. All right. Let's mix it up. I'm doing 2, you're doing 2. You know that I like to do separate bets from what I usually take. At least when it comes down to what I'm betting. So first things first, I'm doing the under in the Giants Houston game. That's my first pick of the parlay. I'm doing the
Okay.
under 41.5. And then I don't know where I want to go with my next one. I have a feeling though, but I think the next way I'm going to go, dude, is I'm going to take no, I can't. No, I can. Yep, I can.
No, I can't.
I'm
I
gonna
can't.
yeah,
Okay.
no, I can't. Yeah, I can. I'm gonna take Detroit +3.
Oh, wow, they are. I didn't notice that. I was just looking at the total in that game.
I'm gonna take them +3.
All right. I don't hate that. I think they can win that football game,
Me
honestly.
too. Me too. I do too.
All right. Now, for me, I like throwing in my picks because I love my picks.
Yes, you
I
do.
picked 6 this week. That's a lot for me. All right.
That
So
is
I'm throwing in that Eagles.
100%.
That'll hold the parlay into Monday night because when the first 3 legs hit, we're gonna be feeling it, and it's gonna be all on the birds, and we're
Yep.
gonna be cheering for points. You love to see that. Monday Night Football, undefeated Eagles, 43.5. That'll be the
43.5.
first of mine, and then I'm gonna go Chiefs. Cover that 9.5.
Ooh. Okay, so what are we at there?
So what? And your first one was the under in the Giants Houston, right?
Yep.
So 15, because that's what we like. Minimum wage at least an hour.
Yep.
15 will win you 174 plus 1163. I like it.
I like it, dude. So we did the 41.5 under. We did Detroit +3. We did your spread on we did the over on the Eagles, and then the Chiefs -9.
Yep.
Like it, dude. And you said it wins you how much? 140 what?
174.
Dude. That's a bunch. Hey, that fills your gas tank up. That fills your gas tank up these days.
Yeah.
That's good, dude.
Yeah, man. I'm confident in that. We hit the one. We've came up one leg short the last 2 weeks. Let's hope the first 3 hit during the week, during Sunday morning and afternoon. And then we're gonna roll right into Monday night. Good vibes, positive vibes. Philadelphia Eagles, points, points, points. That's what you're getting here. You're getting locks. You're getting winners. We're making money.
Ravens are on a bye after all the great work they've done. They got to take a break.
Hey, I was tough on them. I was tough on them.
Yep. It happens.
I'm proud of
Listen,
them though. They're turning it
people always
around.
hate us.
They're
People
turning it
always
around.
hate us,
Get out of here.
especially those that are looking up at the ones that got more jewelry. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
That's
All right.
all
Hey,
I'll say.
thank you everybody for listening to this episode of Cold One Conversations. Make sure you subscribe. Tail that parlay. We're hitting. It's hashtag it's due.
Left,
Subscribe
right,
to
center.
the podcast. Go to the BSP podcast too for more. LCR baby. Shout out to the 2 and 5. Go Birds. All right.
Go Vens, go Vens, go Vens.